Hello YouTube community. Haven't done any videos here lately. I've been so busy trying to just keep stuff running for people that haven't had time to play. I've got one here today though that I'm going to be able to get some footage of. This is a townhome. There's 3 in this building, 2-story. The air handler is behind that panel. This would normally be a washer and dryer sitting here in front of it. So the air handler is behind the panel. The air handler itself is just sitting on a wooden box. Turn grills on the opposite side here. Still got the old Rheem thermostat. There's a Rheem air handler, one of the little short ones that has the M coil and the heating elements wrapped around the blower. But outside we have about a 10-year-old, maybe a little over 10-year-old Goodman. The compressor, I came out yesterday to do service on the apartment before the new people move in, and the compressor is bad. Can't see much of the label there, but it's an 05. I'm not going to be able to do anything with the line set except keep it. It goes up through the kitchen wall and through the ceiling over to the closet. Okay, here's what we got in here now. It looks to me like it probably started out as one of those little wall hung units at one time, and somebody's replaced it with this unit probably back in 1996, because you can see they cut out the drywall that was behind it so this unit could stick back farther. Okay, I got my recovery unit going, so while that's happening I'm going to go ahead and get the air handler disconnected in here. It's late in the day. I had to do service work this morning, so what I'm going to do is try to get the old equipment out, carry the new air handler in, and come back in the morning and get started early so I can finish it up. They got a tenant going to move in day after tomorrow. Okay, here's the return grill. As you can see, just up to the unit there, they've got that drain line tied in tight to that pipe with a Fernco coupling there. I'll double check when I get the unit out, but I'm pretty sure that's got a trap on it over there. There's another unit in the same building that just has a standpipe there that the unit is dropping down into, so I probably will do away with that tight connection when I go back with my new one. You see this a lot around these parts. People use duct tape to fill in all kinds of gaps. The thing is about pumped down. As soon as it finishes, I'll cut this coil loose and drag this puppy out of here. And she's out. I was thinking I ought to get to a couple of scraps of sheetrock back there. Wondering why anybody would leave it. And there's the rest of it, sitting on top of the firebox on the fireplace. So I guess I'll haul all that out there. That's what I've got to work with. I hate that board. Don't like the looks of that splice joint there, so I'll cut my copper off back here and start again. That was probably okay, but I'll probably do the same thing with it. Here's the inside of that disconnect box out here. Of course, it had a knockout missing, so it's full of bees, but I don't know why people insist on bringing the thermostat wire out with the high voltage. Line set was right here. I'll see if there's something different I can do with it and try to get it fished around there. But I'm going to replace this entire box with a weatherproof Siemens box and put a appropriate size breaker in it. So I'm going to tie all this off before I leave tonight. I was able to get the thermostat wire routed over where it can come down through the groove in the T111 siding. So I've got the huge gash they had there caulked up. I've got a connector on the wires this time. And the extra wire there actually runs back to the air handler. Every unit had it. It's hanging down in there with the thermostat wire. It's not hooked to anything. I'm glad I know where both ends of it is now, but I'm just going to pull it all in here and put it in the same connector and leave it the ends loose in case somebody ever needs it for anything. Here are all the splice joints I've cut out. This one, I guess they tried to swedge it up. You can see where something's been clamped on there. Well, I guess they did swedge it up, but it still looked a little rough. I've got a stick of solder on here. It has an actual coupling. Then here was two joints that were close together. I just cut everything out. Hopefully it's all one piece from here into where I'll be inside. And got a little disconnecting breaker in there. Hopefully it's still got some paint. Looks like it's just been repainted. So, and I'll put this new one on this same pad. The top of it's spalling, but it's 4 or 5 inches thick. It ain't going in there. Okay, it's the next morning, about 7 a.m. I had to get out here early. It's calling for rain today, especially after lunch. It gets really bad, so I thought I'd run out here and get this outside unit connected and then move inside to the air handler. What I've done so far is been up a piece of copper and connect it to the old line set right here. I've looked at that joint. I trust it. I'm going to cover up the end, and I'll slip the Rubitex on the line set. I've dug out all the caulk I could back in that hole in the siding, so hopefully I can make a better looking caulk joint there. So I'm gonna get this brazed up. Got my nitrogen ready to roll. Okay, you've got the 3/4 inch. Getting ready to do the 3/8, but in order to stay away from the Rubitex here with my flame, I keep a 3/8 service port that I've got switched up on one end, and that way I can always put nitrogen in a 3/8 line, even if it's not connected to the unit. So I'll sweat this one up, and then I'll get my copper just where I want it, up under this line, put it in this service port and solder it. Okay, I'm jumping back inside. I cut a piece of 5/8 plywood to lay down over top of that mess that was under there. After I get the air handler positioned, I'll cut an exact size hole in it and then put it back in and screw it in. What I'm going to do is extend these existing line set down to where it'll be out in front of the air handler down to bottom where we can make our connection. So I've got the nitrogen coming through this original line set. Got it sitting on a pair of diagonal cutters down there so it can get out. And I will sweat up this big line and then extend the liquid line on down the same distance. And then I'll start positioning the air handler. Okay, I got the unit just set in there temporarily. I marked the opening I'm going to need in the new piece of plywood. And in case I hadn't mentioned it before, I hate duct board with a passion. I'm cut one little piece and I'm eat up. I'm going to, once I set this air handler down, I'm going to attach the back of the duct board to the existing duct board up there and tape everything up good that I can get to back there, so that when I go to put the sides and the front on, I won't have to try to reach all the way around and tape that back. So that's my plan. I'll see if it works. Yeah, I got my plywood in, made me a gasket, opened up the hole below it, and got my back piece of duct on. So I'm going to pick this thing up, hopefully for the last time, and get her set in the hole. Well, folks, started up the air handler, decided to check the electric heat. Got nothing on this red circuit, which is the lower sequencer back there, which is connected to the same 24 volts as the other one, which is working. I've ohmed out the elements and it's good, so I'm going to swap that faulty sequencer right quick. Okay, just started her up. I got the eye manifold back there. My iPad battery was about dead, so I plugged it in. It is stabilized now and it's low. Of course, I haven't added anything yet. I've got a 37 degree superheat, looking for about a 16 degree. So I'm going to get the jug off the truck and start adding a little bit of gas. She's about to settle in. I'm within a couple of degrees right now on superheat. I'm going to the house is getting pretty cool in there. Got a 16-degree split. Well, bringing back 66 and taking out or pulling in 66 and putting back 50-degree air. I think I'm going to switch the reversing valve, run it on heat for a few minutes. What's the outdoor temperature? Yeah, it's 68. I won't run it too long, but I'll check it and see how it's looking in heat. It's still stabilizing, but at least it works. The chart on the door said like 140 and 360 at this temperature, but not sure how accurate all that is. So I'll let it warm the house up a little bit and switch it back to cool and check the superheat one more time, and then I'll be wrapping it up. I'm going to leave it right there. It's within a half a degree on superheat. I switched it back to cool. After I warmed it up, it heats good at 70 degrees outside. But I got to go in and clean up. The new tenant moves in tomorrow. And I have a mess in here. This panel is actually painted a wall color, covers up the hole. I got a float switch above the trap that's underneath. I did away with the solid tie-in that used to be there. So hopefully it'll last, well, at least 10 years. Thanks for watching.